What's going on, guys? It's me, Tim, and today the stock market and cryptos are getting wrecked. Let's take a look. Hopping over to TradingView's heat map, you'll see red across the board with a few green outliers. And I did want to mention specifically Tesla. I'm getting ready to buy some Tesla. For anyone curious about where I stand, I do think under 150 would be a great time to start adding to Tesla for the first time since 2020. Now, I'm no Nostradamus, I make bad calls all the time, but I do think Tesla looking long term is becoming very attractive in price. And last time I was buying this was around the 3 to 400s pre-split. Soon after that, it ran all the way up to 1200. I didn't get out at the very top, but I did make more than a double up there. And I do think it's setting up for something similar. So anyone curious about my thoughts on Tesla, there you go. That's what I think. I think under 150 is a strong buy. I think even where it's at, you can see some great gains over time, but we could see some more pain there on Tesla. Now, hopping over to Bitcoin, let's zoom in a bit. And you'll notice it seems like we are testing this ascending wedge. If we break from this, we are going to test the 50 MA. If that doesn't hold up, we may go all the way down to the 200 MA. But I do think we are starting our uptrend. We saw our golden cross not that long ago. And one thing I wanted to point out to you guys is this is one of the first times we've actually seen ascending moving averages. The moving averages are pointing up. And let me provide you guys with some context. The last time we actually saw that, you could argue back in July of 2021, we started seeing the moving averages coming up. And that did bring a lot of buying pressure. And we had an even more clear signal back in 2020 once the moving averages started running up here. We did see a golden cross, the moving averages continued higher, and we went from around the 8,000s all the way to about 60K. And the whole time the moving averages were just going up and up and up. So this is one of many reasons I'm very bullish on Bitcoin, and I do think it's going to continue higher. We of course have the halving to look forward to, and as we get closer to it, the buying pressure will come in even stronger and stronger. But I do think from a technical standpoint, we have started the bull run, but admittedly in the short term, we may see a break if we break this wedge. And typically wedges are made to be broken, descending wedges to the upside and ascending wedges to the downside. But where I stand with Bitcoin, any pullbacks I see as fantastic buying opportunities, and the clock is ticking into the next halving. And looking at Cleanspark, it's no surprise we're down a bit after seeing how much we've ran. And like I said before, I'm not perfect. I don't always make the right call, but this is one thing that I was saying is we're likely to pull back, test some lower levels, cool off a bit. We were heavily overbought on the RSI, and we'd have to go back when this was in the 20s, when this was in the 40s to see a similar RSI, back when things were just going crazy, when everything was euphoric. Typically, that's the time to reassess. Now, what I want to see on Cleanspark is start seeing some consolidation, see the RSI level out a bit more so that we can go on a nice next move up. And one thing I did want to mention here on Cleanspark is we are looking at, I would say, ascending moving averages. We're very close. Over the next couple of days, we'll see where Bitcoin and Cleanspark goes according to the charts. And if Cleanspark doesn't drop a whole lot from here, these moving averages can continue in their upward trajectory. One thing I'm looking for is a test of this 360 area. I think we can definitely bounce from there once we test it. But I do think if Cleanspark can continue seeing a little more buying momentum, we are going to see this golden cross. It is approaching in my eyes. And I also want to mention earnings real quick. This January, February, March quarter we're about to get reported is going to be kind of where things shift, where we start seeing record-breaking revenue, seeing increasing revenue rather than declining revenue like we've seen through most of the bear market. Things are starting to shift. And the quarter we're in, we're about to report April's mining, and Bitcoin for the most part throughout April was around $30,000. I do expect this quarter, the April, May, June quarter, I do suspect that we're off to a great start there. And of course, things can pull back, things could go higher, but regardless, we're already off to a great start. And just thinking about a couple of months ago, back in January, Bitcoin was trading in the 19,000s. So Cleanspark's revenue is going to continue looking a lot better as Bitcoin goes up in price. And I do think this recent run up is kind of the realization of things starting to look better. I think people are now anticipating upcoming earnings to start looking better and better as Bitcoin moves up, and the bull run has begun. But let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think the bull run has begun or not? Do you think we're in for some lower levels? Do you think we've already seen the majority of the pain? And also, where do you stand on Tesla? Where would you start buying it? Thanks as always, guys, and I'll catch you later.